Welcome to Curie Electronics. Today we are going to solve Ursc 2016 Technical Assistant Electronics question paper. So this Ursc was formerly known as ISRO Satellite Center. So the first question. The resistance of a conductor of diameter d and length L is R ohm. If the diameter of the conductor is halved and its length is doubled, the resistance will be. What is R? R equals rho L upon A. So here he is saying about the diameter. Then we have to write rho L. What is area? Pi d square upon 4. So this is our R that he has given. When at this condition, when the physical dimensions are like this, that is diameter equal to small d and length is small l. Here I have taken diameter, I have taken in capital. We will make it small l, small d square. So this is R. Now we want to find out R dash. For R dash, what is the change in condition? Now before going to solve, what you have to understand, the length is doubled. And when you increase the length of a wire, what happens? Its resistance increases. Also, when you reduce the diameter of the wire, what should happen? The resistance should increase. That is, when length increases, resistance also should increase. Then diameter decreases, resistance should increase. Okay. Now let's just try to find what is R dash. Now R dash, rho, there is no change. Instead of L, it is 2L. Pi, D has halved, so D by 2 whole square upon 4, which equals, what we can write? Rho L multiplied by 2 upon pi d square by 4 whole divided by 4. Now I'll write it here. So rho L 2 pi d square upon 4. Now this, what is there? This I can write it as multiplied by 1 by 4. Not there. 1 second. See, the divide by 4, it goes up. You have to do it yourself once. Now it is simple. What I can write? This rho L pi d square by, this I can write it as R. R is the original value multiplied by 8. So if you increase the length 2 times and if you reduce the diameter by half, then the resistance increases by 8 times. A semiconductor has dash temperature coefficient of resistance. For a semiconductor, what happens? When temperature increases, resistance decreases. So it is a negative temperature coefficient. Negative temperature coefficient. That is, temperature, when temperature increases, resistance decreases. On the basis of dimensional equation, the maximum number of unknown that can be found is? The answer is 3. And I think it is related to this question is from physics, and it is related to, the 3 is coming from the fundamental quantities, that is mass, length and time. So these three unknowns we can find using that dimensional equations, mass, length and time. Those are the fundamental quantities. Question number 4. C programs are converted into machine language with the help of, see, whatever we use a Turbo C compiler, different compilers are there. So C programs are converted to machine language with the help of a compiler. For an assembler, for an assembly language to machine language, it is assembler. In an unregulated power supply, if input AC voltage increases, the output voltage, for an unregulated power supply, if the input voltage increases, what happens? The output voltage also increases. We use regulated power supplies to avoid this. Which of these sets of logic gates are designated as universal gates? So NAND gate and NOR gate are known as the universal gate. So option A is the right answer, NOR and NAND. There is one more question related to is universal logic circuit. Logic circuit, that is this multiplexer is known as the universal logic circuit, multiplexer. Question number 7. The frequency range for satellite communication is, for satellite communication we use frequency in gigahertz range. So it is from 1 gigahertz to 30 gigahertz. Question number 8. The CRO uses dash method of focusing. See, the focusing is electrostatic focusing, but for deflecting the electron beam, we use electromagnetic deflection method. For deflection, electromagnetic, but for the focusing, it is electrostatic. In 8051 microcontroller, the register that holds the serial data interrupts bits TI, that is, after transmitting, this will set, this TI flag will set. Also, after receiving the data, RI flag will set. So that is TI and RI, transmit interrupt and receive interrupt. So there is one resistor is there. Most of the 8051 registers are 8-bit. So SM0, SM1, SM2, these are for the different modes of communication. Then receive, enable, REN, TB8, RB8, whether it is 8-bit or 9-bit data. Then TI, RI, transmit interrupt and receive interrupt. These all are there in one register. Which register? It is the SCON register, serial control register. So this TI and RI are there in SCON register, that is serial control register. Which of the following is not a binary code? The Morse code is not a binary code. And this ARQ code is something like error detection code. It is error detection. It is used to detect error detection. And this baud and Bodot and CCITT. This is used for teleprinter. Nowadays we won't use the teleprinter, but in olden days this teleprinter is used. This was an electromechanical device, this teleprinter. That's all I know about this teleprinter. I have not seen one. Okay, let's move to the next question. Each node is connected to in dash, each node is connected to every other node by direct links. What we have a topology. This is a different type of network topology. In one topology, I'll draw one of the topology. We have computers, 4 computers. See that we have 4 computers: C1, C2, C3, and C4. Now we connect all together like this. Then these two are connected together. This also connected together. Now every node is connected with other see, this C1 is connected to C2, C3, C4. Now in dash, each node is connected to every other node by direct link. See, each node is connected to every other nodes. These C1, C2, C3, C4 are different systems, but each are connected with direct links. So this topology is the mesh topology. Okay, mesh topology. This is the mesh topology. Mesh topology. So the answer is mesh topology. Then what about a ring topology? A ring topology, you will have a we'll have a ring shape. What about star topology? In star topology, there will be a hub. Okay, the star, there will be a hub. Then there are going to be different systems connected to it. C1, system 1, C2, C3, C4. This is the star topology, C4. Then there is a bus topology. In bus topology, what is there? There will be a common bus like this, and different C1, different systems will be connected to this bus, common bus. C2, C3, C4. This all will be connected to the bus. This is the common bus for communication. So the answer is mesh topology. Question number 12. If frames are displayed on a screen fast enough, we get an impression of motion. That means for something called persistence of vision. Persistence. I think it is TA. Persistence of vision. That is 1/16 second. That means if we show something, what is that? I will take the example of a LED getting on and off, blinking LED. If you blink the LED 16 times in 1 second or more than that, our eye won't be able to see whether it is on or whether it is getting off or not. So it looks like continuously on. Similarly, the similar technique is used in TV or cinema. The number of pictures are moving fast, so we will feel that picture frames. We will feel that it is a continuous movie. So, if frames are displayed on a screen fast enough, we get an impression of motions. Question number 13. One of the following transducers used for very small linear displacement measurements. The answer is LVDT, linear variable differential transformer. In this, the core will be moving, and the Pirani gauge, it is for the pressure measurement. Thermocouple for temperature. Thermocouple works on the principle of Seebeck effect. Shaft encoder, it is an optical encoder, we can say. Optical encoder. This is a digital transducer. Optical encoder. It's a digital transducer. A small circle on the output of a logic gate is used to represent it is a NOT operation. NOT operation. So we have a OR gate. If you add this is a NOT operation and this becomes NOR gate. So this bubble is the NOT operation. Fetch cycle is the, see how the microprocessor and what does this, first it has to fetch the instruction, fetch the instruction, then it has to decode, then it has to execute, So what is the question? A fetch cycle is the first part of the instruction cycle. Yeah, it is the first part of the instruction cycle. Most radar antenna use A. You should have a parabolic reflector. So the answer is option C, horn and parabolic reflector. Because more long distance communication, the satellite communication, all these need a parabolic reflector. So radar also need a parabolic reflector. So with that, horn antenna is there. Question number 17. EEG can involve the recording of electrical potentials from. First of all, what is EEG? Electroencephalogram. Let me check once more what it is. Electroencephalogram. I'll write it here. That is what EEG. EEG. Electroencephalogram. Electroencephalogram. Okay, encephalogram. So see, this EEG is used to check our brain waves. Okay, it is to check there is any abnormality in the brain waves. How do we check? On our scalp. Scalp means where our hair is there. We can shave our hair, then we can attach electrodes to our scalp, then we can observe the brain waves. From that we can identify any abnormalities there. So that is a group of neurons via electrodes placed on the scalp. Electrical waves from the scalp using some electrodes placed on the scalp. Question number 18. ARM, Advanced Risk Machine processors, were basically designed for. Most of our mobile phones use this ARM microcontrollers. So it was used for mobile systems. Question number 19. The voltage induced in an inductor is represented as product of its inductance and current through it, product of its inductance and rate of change of current through it, ratio of its inductance to current through it. What is the voltage across the inductor is given? VL equal to L di upon dt, right? So this is what is in words what it is? Product of inductance and rate of change of current through it. Option B is the right answer. So the current is constant, then voltage across inductor is 0. A forward biased PN junction diode has a resistance of the order of, it should have a only in ohms range, it should be in ohms. Question number 21. Dimensions of relative density are relative density. See, whenever you hear the term relative, Is dimension, it is a dimension, there is no unit for it. It is dimension, it has no dimensions. That is the answer. Can you say some more similar to the, we can say a relative, let me write it, not this, a relative permeability, relative permeability. Relative permeability, what is that? Again, the relative humidity. One more, that is relative permittivity. These all are dimensionless quantities. Okay, there is no unit for this. Only one number will represent what it is. So it is dimensionless. So you have to remember the relative term. Question number 22nd. C was primarily developed as, C was developed for system programming language. It was developed as a system programming language. In an ideal regulated power supply is one which has voltage regulation of, for an ideal power supply it has to be voltage regulation of 0%. That means if the power supply is rated for 5 volt output, you should, irrespective of the current we draw, you should stay at 5 volt only. But practically it is from 1% to 5% for a good power supplies. Question number 24. Which of the following memories use as one transistor and one capacitor as basic memory unit? So here we have one capacitor, and to charge the capacitor we can use a transistor, either a MOSFET or a transistor. It's a word line, and this is bit line. See, this is the structure of a dynamic RAM. There is one MOSFET and a capacitor, dynamic RAM. By turning on, we can charge the capacitor. We can charge or discharge the capacitor by turning it on, and this is required constant refreshing also. Constant refreshing also must for this. There is something called refreshing rate for this dynamic RAM. SRAM is with flip-flops. Transmission line must be matched to the load. The transmission line and the load must be matched. Then what happens? The maximum power will get transferred. Transfer of maximum power to load. It happens when transmission line impedance and the load impedance matches. Question number 26. A thermistor is a transducer which converts thermistor temperature to resistance. All of you know that, temperature to resistance. When temperature increases, the resistance decreases, because this thermistor is, most of the thermistors are based on NTC, negative temperature coefficient. So temperature increases, resistance decreases. Question number 27. Data communication refers to the transmission of voice. Communication means what? There is a voice communication, computer data communication, video also communication. So the answer is all of the above. In the case of a direct physical connection, in the case of a dash, a direct physical connection path is established between two computers. See, that is, the answer is circuit switching. This is a direct connection is there. This is connection, or we will say connection oriented. connection oriented. The packet switching is connectionless. And the datagram, what happens? Datagram, that packet contains address. Packet contain destination address. So it reaches. The header of the packet contain destination address. So if there is in case of a circuit switching, there is direct link. Okay, there is direct link. Question number 29. A voltmeter sensitivity is expressed in ohm per volt or volt per ohm. That is ohm per volt. Ohm per volt. So answer is option A, and sensitivity is given as S equal to 1 upon full scale, the current required for the full scale deflection. That is what sensitivity. This is ohm per volt is the unit. Today's last question. DIOC is nothing else but a triac without a gate terminal. So this is the DIOC. Terminal 1, terminal 2, terminal 1, terminal 2. The DIOC. What about triac? Triac will have just like a MT1, MT2, and there is a gate. This is the triac, gate. So triac without a gate is the DIOC. So we have completed the part 1 of Ursc 2016 question paper. If you like the video, please share with your friends and don't forget to hit the like button. So I will try to upload the next part as soon as possible. And thanks for watching.